What's going on, friends? Logan Myerz back here for 31 Days of Horror, talking more horror flicks. And tonight I'm going to be talking about Richard Stanley's The Color Out of Space, that's adapted from the short story from H.P. Lovecraft. And H.P. Lovecraft is no stranger in terms of the sci-fi and horror movie industry. His work has been adapted many times over the years, TV, movies, and now we see the new Lovecraft Country on HBO. That's a really big hit. Been enjoying that very much, and I can't wait to see where that show goes. But the setup of the film, we have a meteorite that crashes into a farm in Lovecraft Country, being Massachusetts. I think it's Arkham, like most of H.P. Lovecraft's work. We have Nicolas Cage going really over the top in this role. He plays Nathan. His wife Teresa is played by Jolie Richardson. Huge fan of hers. She was in the show Nip Tuck. I think it was like the first FX show that came out. I really love that series. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check out Nip Tuck. I think it's on Hulu right now, streaming. We have Madeline Arthur playing Lavinia. She's like the daughter of this family. Really weird intro of the movie. It's very atmospheric and very cosmic. It just has a weird fantasy feel to it, like right from the get-go of the film. She's on a horse riding home, and weird things start happening. Once this meteorite hits, they start acting weird. And it's basically the descent into madness for this entire family, and Nicolas Cage really loses his shit throughout this film. It's a very weird role for him, but it's also very fitting at the same time. He's an actor that can do so many different roles and can go over the top and really elevate the performances, and this is definitely an example of Nicolas Cage elevating a performance.
You know, I've had it with your drama, Lavinia, so do me a favor and get the fuck out of my sight, okay?
I will say the overall setting is very atmospheric, it's very cosmic, it has that feel of H.P. Lovecraft. I remember seeing images of this movie when they're filming it, and all the pinks and the color correction they did in this film is really top notch. It really has that feel, a very unsettling and dark feel, really wrapped around this farm and this family, and how they're really changing, how they're really starting to go crazy. Camera work, cinematography is absolutely beautiful in this movie, and it really captures the overall tone and feel. One by one, weird things start happening to the family, Nicolas Cage and his wife and their kids. And then they have some alpacas in this like barn, and weird things start happening to them. And as you could predict, some weird things happen to the animals, much like The Thing. And there's sequences in this film that reminded me much of like John Carpenter films, and it definitely feels like a creature you would see and expect from H.P. Lovecraft. It has a very sci-fi feel to it, like Alien meets The Thing, and really well done in terms of practical effects. Some of the CGI in the film is a little spotty, doesn't always work, but a lot of the practical effects and some of the creature design they use in this movie is really top-notch and well done. Without going into too many spoilers and giving too much away if you haven't seen this, this is a movie that is definitely one of the most unique and fucked up movies of 2019 for sure. Very unique in the aspect of what happens to this family and how this family is really trying to survive and get out of there in a place that you don't ever want to be at if a meteorite strikes. But really great performances by Nicolas Cage, once again, always going over the top in his roles. This is yet another unique performance by him, and how he goes really crazy and starts snapping on his family, trying to survive at the same time, and what happens to a few of his family members. And then his young son, it's very tragic. And like my last review, they don't really like killing kids or doing bad things to kids in horror movies, but something tragic does happen to the son and wife, and it's really fucked up, and the way they capture the effects of what happens to them is really well done, and is a shot and scene in the movie that will stick with me. In terms of the story and the way that Richard Stanley directed this film, I thought it was pretty well done for the most part across the board. My only complaints were some of the CGI. Visual effects were not as well done. But in terms of the story, it's definitely unique. One of the most unique films of 2019. A really cosmic sci-fi horror film. And you see the downfall of this family on this farm in Massachusetts. As you can guess, it doesn't really end well for them. In a place you definitely don't want to end up, in the middle of nowhere when something like this happens. So I thought, for horror fans and sci-fi fans, I think you'll really enjoy this. Also, if you love H.P. Lovecraft's writing, especially the short story this movie is based off of, I think you'll have a really great time with this. And if you love Nicolas Cage, you're going to love his performance in this film as well. So overall, I'm going to give Richard Stanley's Color Out of Space a 3.5 out of 5 alpaca milk hair pieces. So I'm interested in hearing what you guys think of this movie. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What did you guys think of that ending having to do with the mom and the son? That's pretty fucked up, isn't it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out with my mate up here, Nicolas Cage! Until the next horror movie review on 31 Days of Horror. Cheers!